So I'm going to take a minute to talk a little bit about the equipment that I use in making my record Change. And the first thing I'll tell you about is my guitar, which is this Fender Signature Model Telecaster. Helped develop this guitar with Fender, and there's some things about it that make it unique and a little different from some of the other Telecasters that are available on the market. The first thing that was done with the guitar was the neck dimensions. They're made specifically to how I requested. It fits my hand. It was made for me, so it's a comfortable fit. And the nice thing about it is whenever I pick up one of the guitars, whether it's off the rack or whatever it is, it feels like, you know, my guitar. So they really did a great job with that. Also, the frets are jumbo style frets. Another thing they do for me is put the drop D tuner on, which I believe is a special order item. But a lot of my songs, sometimes I tune down to a low D, so when I'm playing live, it gives me the opportunity to switch to that tuning without having to, you know, slow down any pace during the show. As far as the body, there's some things about the body that are custom. The top is a quilted curly maple top, and the back is a swamp ash. Another thing about the body that's unique is I always liked the sound of the feel of a Stratocaster, but the sound of a Telecaster. And to emulate more of a feel of a Strat, we put comfort cuts in the guitar. Most Telecasters have a square body all the way around, but we have a comfort cut here and over here, which just makes the guitar feel, when you pick it up, like it's an extension of your body. Also, the pickups are unique. Marzio developed a pickup. It's a single coil type of pickup, but it's double stacked so that it doesn't hum, and it has a little bit more power than a standard single coil pickup that you'd find in a regular Telecaster. The neck position is pretty much the standard Telecaster neck type of a pickup, but again, it's another pickup that doesn't hum. The middle selector here gives you both pickups, but instead of a tone knob, I've got a series parallel switch, which allows me to get a really kind of cool lead tone by turning this with both pickups. And then if I flip it back, I have the more standard hollowed out Telecaster sound. So the guitar, basically, I can get almost any sound I really need out of the instrument, and plus it feels great and plays great, so it's my guitar of choice. I'm going to take a minute now to talk about the acoustic guitars that I use on the record Change. This CD, I did a lot more acoustic stuff than I have done in some of the previous records that I've released. And for the acoustic stuff, I use this Yamaha guitar. And one of the cool things about the Yamaha guitar is that it has built into it a microphone that you can't see, but it's strategically placed. And there's a knob where you can pick how much of the microphone blend you want versus how much of the piezo pickup you want. And it's a great tool to have for live and in the studio. A lot of the guitars that I cut on the record, I didn't even bother putting a microphone on. I just plugged them in, used the built-in microphone, and ran it through a nice mic preamp at the studio, and I got a great sound. The other thing about this guitar, it's really easy to play. It has a nice cutaway if you want to do any lead tone type activity up there, and it has a great action. The guitars are really consistent too. This guitar is not my personal one, and it feels exactly like the personal one I have back in Los Angeles where I live. The other thing I'll tell you about is the amplifier I use on my record. The amp that I've been using is a Cornford. It's behind me. It's a 50-watt amp, and basically it's one of those amps that you can kind of plug into without even thinking about effects or anything. I did a show recently in LA and basically showed up with one of these guitars and that amp plugged straight into it. I didn't need an overdrive pedal or anything. The feature about that amp that's really great is when you turn down the volume knob, it cleans up like almost the way an old Marshall does. So for my kind of music, I can avoid having to worry about channel switching. Just turn my guitar knob down, and I got a clean tone. Turn it up a little more, I got a biting rhythm, and full volume, I got my full-on lead tone. I can get all the sounds I need just out of that head. So that's pretty much it for my equipment. It's not real elaborate. I don't have a lot of pedals, a lot of effects. What I do is pretty much a phase shifter or a wah pedal, maybe an overdrive. And the overdrive that I use, I don't have it with me, but it's made by a company called Sobot. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's the equipment I used on my record.